Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Emmanuel, I'm an airline pilot, and today let's take out the latest emergency hotfix of the iniBuilds A300 for a little test flight. So version 1.0.5 has just been released, and this one should cover a couple of the problems that people, including myself, have encountered with the latest public release. Most namely, those fixes do include problems that appeared with LNAV, and they also do include some other fixes. So we are just going to have a look into how this is going to turn out, and looking into the full changelog from the iniBuilds forum. It's mostly fixed when activating heading mode, while in profile mode, profile should stay engaged. The EHAM still had a wrong speed for the VLE. They adjusted the cold and dark panel state, which I'm excited to see, and finally they fixed some LNAV issues. So those should hopefully make our airplane a little bit more flyable again, and we are standing here in London Stansted already loading our cargo for a quick trip over to Amsterdam, which is like a 35-minute flight. So a perfect opportunity to check how well everything is going to work. So let's quickly head over into the cockpit and turn the airplane on before we are going to start our walk around. And here we are. Okay, so the batteries are coming on. Then the hydraulic panel is checked. Quantities are looking good. Wiper switches off. Landing gear lever down. Slats flaps handle is in agreement with the indicators. Fuel off. Weather radar off. And we are going to set the parking brake as we're going to check the condition of the tires and the brakes on the walk around. Alright, cool. So with that, let's go ahead and run the APU fire test. It is a little bit cold outside, and I'm also going to switch on the external power already. Alright, everything looking good here. Let's just wait until the test has finished, and then I'm going to fire up the APU, because, well, it's London in winter. That can be a little bit cold at times. So, APU start. Awesome. Then IRS all going to nav. Oxygen coming on, light test. Shows everything working, perfect. Alright. Awesome, so then we'll just turn on a couple of lights, and then let's quickly head out for the walk around and make sure that our airplane is actually airworthy. So it's a standard A300 walk around. I'm not going to go into too many of those details. Just as always, worth pointing out the condition of the tires in the iniBuilds over here, as they have done an awesome job modeling that. Alright, so this is literally just going to be the fast version of the walk around. So let's just call it the cold day weather version. Obviously, the weather does not have an influence on the length of the walk around at all. It never would, obviously. Or so they say. Alright, so lights are working. We can see that little cross in here. Then let's continue to the main gears and have a look over here. Alright, so most importantly probably, we gotta find those brake wear indicator pins. Hey there. Where's my brake wear indicator pins? Don't they have them on the aft wheels here? Sure enough, any airplane that I've flown has them on all wheels. Okay, we still have some pins down here, even though they seem positioned in an interesting way, but, well, they do seem to be long enough, so we'll just leave it at that. Okay then, quick look into the aft holds. Obviously, you couldn't do that in the real world, it would be too high up. Ouch! And they closed the door right upon you? Lovely. Alright, so leading edges, everything looking good. Then let's have another look at the left main gear, and when we're done with that, we can head back straight into the cockpit. Alright, no sign of visible damages. Looks like my colleagues haven't landed the plane too bad. Well, that's gonna be my job then. Alright, and that is looking okay. No visible damages. Alright then, let's check if we can find any signs of a bird strike or anything. but it actually looks rather okay. So last thing, have a look in that hole here as well. We need to see that white cross over there. Otherwise we have a maintenance problem. But that seems to be looking good. Alright, no scrape marks and everything is closed. Well, the fan is rotating, can't check the leading edges then, so be it. Alrighty. And here we are. Right back in our cockpit. So let's go ahead and make a fuel decision then before we are going to do the rest of our pre-flight procedures. So import the flight please. Lovely 8 degrees. Alright, so weather-wise our destination Amsterdam Schiphol is looking very good. A little bit of gusts forecast, but we should hopefully make it before that. Brussels, Frankfurt, Maastricht, Eindhoven. Yeah, Eindhoven has the gusts already, but down the runway, so not a problem either. Okay, so I would say if we just take the standard fuel here, like 9,000 kilogram, we should be good to go. And that should really be all we need. I don't see any reason to take any extra there. Okay then, so weight and balance, fuel. You can give me 9,000 here. And apply that to the airplane, please. Thank you. Alright. Then let's go ahead and grab our charts together. And a quick check of the actual weather here. It's 240 at 12, so that gives us perfect opportunity to fly the Clacton to Echo here to check that LNAV really works, flying an RMP departure. Alright, good. So, then we just need our charts, please. Here we go. Alright, I want my airport charts. Where are they? Yep, we need this one, and we need this one. And then for the departures, Clacton to Echo. Where is it? Down here. Clacton to Echo RMP departure. Perfect. So that's really going to put the airplane to a test here. If it can fly that, then it can fly everything else. I do think we can say that with confidence. Alright. Well then. Echo Golf Shady Stansted to Amsterdam. And we're going to take the default route. Thank you, align IRS. Well, turning on the galley is probably the most important step in the entire pre-flight procedure. So that RFO can go and make some coffees. Fueling is finished, so we can turn the pumps on. Everything's done up here. Window heaters coming on, and one more fire test. Then we are hopefully done with this. Alright, looking good. So the lights are tested, APU is running. Let's bring that bleed on. Pack valve 2 fault is gone now with the thrust bleed open. Okay. Man, this has gotten loud. Okay, so QNH is 1020. So now GSX is going to complain again. Because we just got to get rid of the brakes for a moment. Okay, so alternate brake test works. Landing elevation for Amsterdam 0, that is okay. We'll tune the ATC frequencies in a couple of moments. We are going to fly this one on VATSIM as at, I don't know, 9 AM German time, so 8 AM British time. There is a controller online for the last 2 hours already. So thank you very much, Luke, for being online and hopefully covering our flight. Okay, then let's move into the FMS pre-flight. Obviously, we do need the flight plan for that. Cost an X60. Man, DHA got money. Probably some last moment packages they need to deliver with our flight over here. So that's rather probably the reason here why they want things to go quickly. Well, then let's not disappoint them. So, Papa 44 Redlow, Mike 197 Redfar, that looks correct to me. And Amsterdam, what did they plan? Runway 27. I don't see that happening, to be honest. What's the weather over in Amsterdam? 240 at 17. Well, that screams runway 24 for me. So we might just about fly an ILS 27 with a swing over 24 then. Yep, I think that makes sense. So, ILS 27, Redfar 1 Alpha arrival, and then over there it's going to be via Sugol, I believe. Alright, insert. So, quick check through everything then. We might as well just use that to compare our SID restrictions. Okay, Sierra Sierra Whiskey 01, above 900 feet and maximum 210 knots. Triple Sierra 03, max 210 knots. Sierra Sierra Echo 06, max 210 between 3 and 4,000. So that's plus 3, that's 4, that's okay. Then waypoint 11, max 250 at 4,000 is in there. Waypoint 18 at 4,000. Waypoint 23 at 5,000, waypoint 26 at 6,000, and then towards Clacton. That sounds good. Papa 44 Redlow, and then we get to Redfall already, and from there we've got the arrival in here. Yep, not the prettiest, but sure enough something we can fly. Okay, so secondary. Stansted to Stansted. We're just gonna take runway 22, no SID. Then we're gonna take, well, first of all, a PVD. What's the runway track over here again? 222. Like that, and then for an immediate return, we're going to select an ILS approach runway 22, no star, and no transition. Insert that. Looking good. So, for our weight, let's have a look. Plant zero fuel 12.6. So 9 tons of fuel, 12.6. CG 25. And then for the fuel itself, we're looking at alternate 2.2, final reserve 2.1. Alright, that looks good enough to me, and the fuel adds up exactly. Alright, we can live with that. So, performance setup, Stansted 2.2, everything looking good, air conditioning on, calculate. 58, 58, 61. Man, that's some pretty high takeoff speeds for the lower weight we are at. But okay, if that's what they say. Probably balanced field takeoff here. And it's 4 kilometers of runway. And the IRS seems to have not finished the alignment yet. Okay, then we gotta wait with the rest. Acceleration altitude we can do real quick, and that is 1340. Alright. So we're pretty much done with this. In that case, let's do the takeoff briefing. Alright, your turn. So, Stansted runway 22, Clacton to Echo departure, climbing 4,000 feet, MSA 2,100 around, and we are spot on with the fuel. Alright, no hotspots, stop margin for rejected takeoff over 1,000 meters, engine out sits straight at 25 miles, and there we can join the holding in 3,000. Immediate return or diversion considerations, Stansted is possible. We also got Heathrow in the area, we also got Luton, all of which we fly to, and there is a maintenance base over in East Midlands as well, so depending on whatever is happening, we've got pretty much all options available to us. In terms of special operations, we are flying an RMP set, so we got to make sure that we are using profile and nav mode, and I'm going to put the autopilot on pretty much immediately after takeoff because I want to see how precise it can actually fly that stuff. Okay, that's it. Any questions? No? Awesome. Okay, I think it's just finished the alignment process. So, climbing initially 4,161 is going to be our V2. We go 161 and pre-select 210 knots, because that is our first speed restriction. And if we take a quick look, 210, yeah, at this weight we can retract the flaps completely, and the slats as well. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. Runway track is set. Anything else we needed to do here? Oh yeah. Flex takeoff at 63 degrees. Here we go. Awesome, then let's do the before start checks down to the line. Cockpit prep completed, signs, off auto, fuel quantity, 9,000 kilograms, navigation checked set, landing elevation 0, altimeters 1020 checked, brake anti-skid, norm on. Before start checklist complete down to the line. Alright, let's grab the ADAS and then we can get our clearance.
Automatic. Runway 22 in use. Transition level. Flight level 70. Data link clearances are available. The RNP landing procedure is not available. Departing aircraft make initial contact with London Control on 127.830. Surface wind 240 degrees 12 knots. Visibility 10 kilometers or more. Clouds broken at 1,500 feet. Temperature 8. 2.6, QNH 1020. Acknowledge receipt of information.
I don't see those broken clouds.
Type on first contact.
Oh, that is strange once again. Just a quick look into the settings here. Weather, live weather.
Automatic.
Oh well, not much about it.
Okay,
so be it.
Flight level 70. Data link clearances are available. The RNP landing procedure is not available. Departing aircraft
1.1.5, and then let's call London. London radar, good morning. Postman 1443, information Kilo in Stansted, request clearance to Amsterdam, and we're an Airbus A300.
240 degrees, 12 knots, let's take off.
Never takeoff.
So they should be able to understand me.
Convoy 4842, descent velocity 3,000 feet, Cardiff, QNH 10. 1022.
London, good morning. Postman 1443, information Kilo in Stansted, request clearance Airbus A300.
got 740, revs off 5 on the Honeycomb.
Interesting, he doesn't seem to be able to hear me. But why is that? You guys can hear me. That's one of those points flying past him again.
Chevron 2 Mike Whiskey when ready, send flight level 150.
Alright, just a quick look into the settings. The microphone is selected and is correct. So with that, he should absolutely be able to hear me. Is my push to talk correct? Yes, it is. Alright, so that's one of those things again that I probably don't have to understand. Okay, restart the pilot client. There we are again, flying VATSIM for the first time in, well, a little bit. I just returned to flying in VATSIM, and straight away things don't work. So let's try that once again. Locked off and on again, and hopefully now it should work. Let's just give it a moment to initialize. In the meantime, we might just about start closing our doors.
Good morning, this is Lufthansa 18 miles 5.
And perhaps make GSX prepare already as well. London Control, good morning. Postman 1443, radio check. So he's ignoring the guy that is asking for clearance in city, and he's ignoring us. So that probably means that there's a problem with the controller. Now, of course, it bites me that I...
last station calling, just check I'll just restart my voice line, just to see if there is an issue there. Try again.
Eurotrons 1443, radio check.
Readability 3, I think there's a problem with the transceiver database.
Eurotrons 1443, roger, information, Kilo A300, request clearance.
Yoke correction, Postman 1443.
Oh yeah, it's Postman.
Gimbal back to Echo departure. This altitude 4,000 feet, 3207, sound 6 QNH 1022.
Postman 1443, cleared Amsterdam, Clacton to Echo, climb 4000, squawk 3207, QNH 1022, and we're ready for push and start.
Postman 1443, push and start approved, Alpha middle line.
Push start approved, Alpha in the middle, Postman 1443.
Lufthansa 970, report passing level, climb now.
Okay, so squawk 320 and a 7 at the back, and we've got the Clacton to Echo departure, climbing at 4000, that is all correct.
Right heading 170 degrees.
Perfect, then let's go ahead and close the door.
Good morning, Lufthansa 8 Lima Alpha, London City, 10-4, request Alpha clearance to Frankfurt.
Lufthansa 8 Lima Alpha, good morning, clearances for Frankfurt, Socko on Alpha departure.
Okay, facing north, Alpha in the middle.
Altitude 3,000 feet, squawk 3542, QNH 1022.
So after a little problem, here we are again. Okay.
One Alpha, runway 27, if you climb 3000, squawk 3542, QNH 1022.
So before start checklist below the line. Windows and doors.
8 Lima Alpha, correct.
Closed, beacon on, park and brake. Let's set that for a second. Get rid of the chocks. And we are running on APU, so the GPU can go.
London Control, good morning.
Alright, so ground cockpit. Go ahead. So please confirm all ground checks completed, bypass pin is installed, and we are ready for push. Alright, that's all confirmed, sir. Roger, push approved onto the middle line, park brakes set. Release brakes. Brake released. Roger, start of the pushback. May clear to start engines at your convenience. Roger.
970, if you're given a climb instruction in the UK, it means you can ignore this instruction. Climb flight level 270.
Well, that is interesting. The Watson controllers keep saying that, but I keep checking the real-world manuals, and there is nothing in there yet. They need to say climb now, and not just climb. I'll have to clarify that with him later on. Okay, in the meantime though, starting engine 2. Engine 2 start. Okay, and seatbelts can come on as well. I mean, it's only bags today anyway, so we don't have to worry. We don't have any supernumeraries on board. But I'll tell you what, I'm gonna send the controller a quick message asking him where he gets that information from.
Camera 2 miles. 70. Convoy 4842, turn right, heading to 05.
Alright, then, engine 1 start. And 2. And I'm sorry for just sending him that message. While I should be focusing on recording my video, it's just that I'm really interested in where they get that info from. Because I definitely checked the Ops Manual Charlie, which is where that stuff should be in, and all the manuals still say they need to say climb now, so that's why I'm really wondering about that one. So I just sent him a message asking. I mean, if he's got some reference for that, like the official UK AIP or something, then I'm certainly interested to know, because that would point to incorrect manuals, but I don't believe that the manuals are incorrect. And he just replies, he'll find it. Right, so that's 2 good starts, clear disconnect, and clear sign on the left, please, with a pin. Have a good day.
So it's 23 behind.
Alright, we won't need,
Lufthansa 8 Lima Alpha, taxi holding point, Mike.
We won't need any, what was I about to say, trim today. It's pretty much neutral. So let's go for it. After start checklist, pitch trim, 0 set, rudder trim, 0, spoilers, armed, slats flaps, 15, 15, performance FMAs, that's 158, 158, 161, FMAs checked. And did I just run into the wrong checklist? I did. So slats flaps, yeah, that's because the thing is both in the after start checklist and the before takeoff checklist. Okay. Easy to mistake there, but good that we got that in mind now. Okay, ECAM status checked, anti-ice off, hand signal received, after start checklist complete. Postman 1443, request taxi.
Postman 1443, Link Alpha Hotel Romeo Hold Romeo 1.
Link Alpha Hotel Romeo Hold Romeo 1, Postman 1443. Okay, clear left side, clear right side. Still, lights on, brakes off.
Convoy 4842, thanks, runway 30, 7230,
brake check,
16 knots.
pressure 0. Alright, and we're on the way.
286, right Alpha, hold Alpha 3.
Right, Alpha.
So I am rather familiar with Stansted, that's why I didn't even open the charts, but just so that it becomes easier for you guys to actually follow along where we are taxiing. So we're going on Alpha, then on to Hotel, and Romeo 1 is the last of the holding points over there. So straight ahead, right at the end, and then the last to the left. Keeping the plane slow for now as we are going through the turns, and then over there is our holding point already. We'll do the procedure once we're actually over here on Hotel, as that means we'll have a little bit easier time.
Shamrock 2 Mike Whiskey, descent altitude 5,000 feet, Manchester 7. Don't worry.
Standard 8 Alpha, runway 27 blue ready.
Standard 8 Lima Alpha, after departure maintain altitude 3,000 feet, surface wind is 250 degrees, 15 knots, runway 27, clear takeoff.
Runway 27 clear takeoff, after departure maintaining 3,000, standard 8 Lima.
Okay, so now I know why I'm not getting any thrust. Looks like the thing has reset the throttle calibration with the update. So, set idle position, well, start calibration, set idle position, set TOGA position, calibration saved. And now the challenge is to pull it back quickly enough that the engines aren't running up. But okay, now my thrust levers are doing what they're supposed to do. Well, that's interesting. Maybe that reset of the throttle calibration has also led to the reverse encounter we had in Bangkok while doing the 1.04 update live stream. I don't know, perhaps. Alright, in any case, I don't have any updates to the takeoff briefings, so let's go for the procedure and the checklist.
4842, welcome to Cardiff, it's giving you stand 1. If you'd like anything else, just let me know.
I think we were looking at stand 3, maybe.
Okay, takeoff test is looking good. Romeo is next to the left, and then we hold at Romeo 1, which is the standard holding point. Before takeoff, checklist to the line. With a flight control check to go, actually.
Postman 1443 from Romeo 1, runway 22, surface wind is 240 degrees, 12 knots, clear takeoff.
Postman 1443, runway 22, clear for takeoff from Romeo 1. Okay, Romeo 1 is here.
Altitude 3,500 feet.
Awesome. Okay, flight control check. Full up. Full down. Neutral. Full left. Full right. Neutral, and we did check the rudder already. Okay, now B4 takeoff checklist down to the line. Flight controls checked, briefing confirmed, sled flaps 1515, performance FMAs, that's 158, 161, FMA checked. Takeoff config checked, transponder set before takeoff checklist complete to the line. Okay, clear right side, clear left side.
Standard 8 Lima Alpha, thanks for climb down, flight level 70.
Continue climb level 70, 30 miles.
Before takeoff checklist below the line. Cabin secured, TGAS, Tara, packs on, ignition off, anti-ice off, before takeoff checklist complete. Okay, are you ready? So remember, autopilot when airborne, and then we can do nav, profile, and cleared for takeoff. Okay, takeoff. Thrust SRS heading, profile climb nav blue. Thrust set.
Lima Alpha, redirect Dover, climb flight level 250.
Dover level
100 knots.
250
Check.
miles.
A little bit of crosswind here.
Apologies, making a right turn, heading 265, cleared ILS 23 right.
V1 rotate. What's my engines doing? Where are my engines? Spooling down. Here they come again. Okay, positive climb. Gear up. Command 1. Profile climb, profile thrust.
Lot 286,
Flaps 1.
level, climb
Or
now,
flap 0.
150.
Speed checked, flap 0. And slot 0.
Passing 2000.
Speed checked, slot 0.
Actually make that 3000 now, 137.
Postman 1443 heavy, 3000 climbing 4000, collected to Echo.
10.
Block.
Postman 1443, report your passing level, climb now, flight level 110.
Postman 1443 passing 3700, climb now, flight level 110. Set. 110 checked. And that one we'll do on level change because of all those constraints here. So 210 is our speed restriction for now. That's what we got. Okay. So that does sound good. That's 1000 blue, speed out blue. Okay, after takeoff climb checklist down to altimeters. Slats flaps, 0, landing gear, up neutral, packs on, holding at altimeters. Okay, so in general, if it ends up overflying the waypoint 06 now, then I am rather happy with the SID tracking. Now, I am certainly rather happy with that radar climb, by the way. Is that standard? Standard set, passing 6, climbing 110. Okay, so we're past the speed restriction, let's do 250.
Roger, to confirm your requested level.
Alright. Then, altimeters, standard set, after takeoff climb checklist complete.
Egypt Air 982, climb level 390.
Alright, so that's looking good. Now again, I am using level change mode here because we're basically climbing...
1443, climb flight level 210.
Postman 1443, climb flight level 210. Set, 210 blue. Okay, so I'm using level change mode now because I can't be bothered to manually delete all the restrictions over here. We're just gonna make sure that we actually abide the speed restrictions as well, but as you can see, it's basically max 250 knots until the waypoint 11 over here, and thereafter there is no further restrictions. And we are through 100, we are through the 11 waypoint, and I really have no idea why it says 250 knots on the constraints over here. There definitely is no such restriction on this departure. So let's go ahead and accelerate a bit. Just see, looks like it actually planned 250 all the way until the topper climb. I really don't know why it's doing that. Any such restriction? I really don't know. Well, 313, as we can see over here on the FMS for the top of climb, that is what we should fly, so that is what we will fly. And we're relieved of all those restrictions, so I'll simply go to off the constraints up there. Alright. So, clear and copy. Don't even have a RATMAP page that we could clear, but we can absolutely copy the active flight plan. Alrighty. So, let's see. Cruise 210, optimum 361. Yeah, for a short flight as we're doing it, that is absolutely fine. Let's see, do we have a top of descent on here? Yes, 100 miles out, so that's exactly the reason why we're doing things the way we're doing them. Okay, so they did say that they fixed the LNAV tracking issues, and I do have to say that, at least for this set, they fixed the LNAV tracking issues. If you were wondering why the airplane showed like it was flying a little bit offset there, then that is easily explainable by, if we look at the chart, we've got a radius to fixed turn on this departure over here from waypoint 01 until waypoint 06. These are our RF flags over here, and the A300 is not capable of showing RF on the nav display. That's a real life well, bug feature as you want to see it, because the A300 is it dates back to the time where there has not been any RF procedures, so it's not capable of showing those on the nav display, but it is capable of flying them, and I do believe that the tracking worked pretty well. So overall, I am pretty happy with that LNAV update. If it can fly the Clacton 2 Echo, then it can probably fly everything else, but we'll keep an eye out on what LNAV is doing on the SID in order to make sure that we are well, in order to make sure that we do stay compliant over the course of the flight. Alrighty, so T18 icing range. Well, I don't think that that's going to be an issue, seeing that there is literally 0 clouds in our vicinity. A couple on the right over there, but those aren't going to play a role. Okay, so we're about reaching our cleared altitude in a couple of moments already. I'm going to keep the speed where it is, and just keep an eye that it doesn't change over to a Mach mode, because that is what the 737 would be doing. Well, interesting. The controller actually sent me a link there to one of the documents from the British Air Traffic Services provider. And I just told him, because it's a rather long document, that thank you very much, I will read it later. And he just replied, long story short, climb now is still a thing, but if they don't say it, you still ignore the restrictions. Well, that's interesting. I mean, I'm gonna read that later on, and then we'll see what's gonna happen. Certainly, certainly I do know a lot of people who are not gonna do a thing without hearing the climb now. Speed, vertical speed. 1,000 to go.
10500 Delta Papa, hold at Papa 1.
Monarch, interesting. So that gentleman is probably flying the A300 as well. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, it's a lovely airplane when it works. And for now, it seems to work again. So it looks like that 1.04 has just had a couple issues, but with 1.05, things are looking a lot better again already. So hopefully that's the problem solved once and for all. And if not, I'm sure they're gonna do another update. But for now, things do seem to look pretty good, that the problem has actually been solved. But we'll, as always, keep an eye on it. So I do believe Redfar is the boundary over to the Dutch. It might be Radlow already. And in either case, it looks like there is currently nobody online over in the Netherlands. So I have a feeling Alt,
U13 Foxtrot Charlie, hold at
P-speed, P-alt. Alright, so we're up in cruise. Quick check for our top of climb then. We gotta do at least one fuel check per flight, so the good thing is the top of climb does count. Should have taken 6 minutes, 5.9 tons. We did take 9 minutes, 7.2. Yeah, good enough for me. When we overfly Radlow, what are we supposed to have? 9 minutes, 5.6. Yeah, we're gonna take a little bit longer than 9 minutes, probably 10, but plenty of fuel. We did load like a ton extra fuel, so 6.2 is what we would have without the extra, so that would be something like 600 kilos more, which due to the shorter taxi time is probably a pretty acceptable number. So a quick look down here in the fuel section. Yeah, 800 kilos taxi fuel, we certainly didn't need those, and it wasn't 15 minutes either, it was probably less than 5. Okay, so that much about this little part of our flight. Then, not a long flight, so we can already go ahead and have a look at our arrival in Amsterdam. Maybe we just start with the weather. 240 at 19, few clouds, 900 broken, 1209 degrees, 1018. Okay, we can handle that. We're over at Ratlow now, 10 minutes, 7.1, so we are definitely running good on the fuel. Alright. In that case,
You 13 Foxtrot Charlie at Foxtrot 1, crop 23 right hold at Tango 1.
let's go ahead and dig out our charts. I do believe the ILS 27 with a visual swing over runway 24 is going to be good enough, but Amsterdam approach.
Crossed against the lander there.
Where is the ILS chart? Well hidden. Here it is. Okay, ILS 27. Circle the land, minima, Cat, Charlie aircraft, 890 or even Cat Delta 900. Okay, so easy going. Okay, excellent. So that is what we're going to do. The ILS 27 with the visual swing runway 24. That's going to give us the shortest possible taxi, which in Amsterdam certainly is rather important. So, airport chart, then we just need the parking stands. Probably not.
Amsterdam flying 1 to Unicom, good morning.
1 to Unicom, Postman 1443, thank you very much, and thanks again for the document. See you later. Alright, so that's probably it for now then, with VATSIM ATC. Unfortunately, Amsterdam isn't online. I mean, I'm recording this at like, what's it now? 9:30 AM, so not a surprise there. Okay, so, and South Apron, here it is, that's our parking. Okay, so we gotta take that chart over here as well. So what do we have pinned now? Stansted can go, don't need that anymore, and we just need the star. So arrival, where is it? Redfar, 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 here it is. So, crossing Redfar below 230, we do that anyway. But let's see, on the last flight I recorded with this, it was just missing all the restrictions altogether, so let's just have a quick check that we actually got them now. So, Sugol, max 250, below 100, above 70. And that's actually in. Okay, perfect. Then I don't really know what happened there on the last flight, but hey, doesn't matter, does it? Alright, awesome. So that's Redfar, Sulut, Sugo, and we've got Redfar, Sulut, Sugo. And thereafter we just got the standard arrival transition for runway 27, but we're going to get radar vectors anyway, so I'm not worried about that. ILS 27, 266 course. And 11155 minimums. Oh, sorry, frequency of course. Minimums, I'm actually not sure if the A300 is a Cat Charlie or a Cat Delta airplane, but I imagine it to be a Cat Charlie. So let's take the, well, it's 10-foot difference. We're just gonna round it to 900 feet anyway, so doesn't matter. Here you go, 900 feet set once, and 900 feet set twice. Need an auto brake as well, and finally takeoff approach, flaps 30, 126. Wow, that's really not a lot. Let's see about the wind correction. We've got 19 knots of headwind, tell you what, 10 knots wind correction. Like that is looking good. Alright, perfect. So, then I'm ready for the briefing when you are. Okay. So, MSA 2300 on the approach, 1600 in all the other areas. The approach one is just because of the city, so we don't really have to worry about that as well. Redfire 1 Alpha, arrival ILS 27, visual swing over runway 24, with a minimum at 900 for the circling minima. Go around trajectory, we'll have to negotiate that with air traffic control, and since there is no air traffic control online, we're just going to fly it, well, on the runway heading, climbing 2000, and then we come back for another approach. Extra fuel and time, let's have a very quick look into what we have down here. So that's 12 minutes in the form of 900 kilogram. Alright, guidance for the approach is going to be initially localizer and glide slope, later on then flight directors off, landing flaps 40, stop margin is plenty, reversers will be used, auto brakes low, and runway exit is to the left then. No hotspots for the taxi in, nothing special, nothing non-standard. Do you see any threats for the arrival? Well, yeah, the only threat I got is the arrival on Honeycomb, so we got a coordinate with other traffic. But if it works as nicely as it did in Newark the other day, you guys are going to get that video over the next couple of days, you name it. I recorded it with 1.0.5 and just didn't have the opportunity to release it since then. But I did a flight from Boston to Newark in the FedEx freighter, and there was a guy on Honeycomb there who did really awesome coordination, and we do hope that we'll be able to repeat that on the way in Amsterdam today. Alright, apart from that, I don't have anything. Okay, so, nothing miscellaneous either. That's the arrival briefing completed then. Don't have to do any PAs. Lovely. Okay. Vertical speed, alt, flight level 100 blue. Let's go ahead and start that descent. Well, we'll fly the GD here in a moment. Now, in Airbus aircraft, I started to start the descent a little bit before the topper descent, so that we can nicely go 1,000 feet a minute and then intercept the profile thereafter. That turned out to work really, really well. Because, especially when you're flying very high speed, the A330 at least has the tendency to slightly overshoot and then start a dive back for the profile, and with that the speed can really get to a couple knots below the red band. So, you know, if you then hit a little gust or something, then you're easily in the overspeed. So for that reason I kind of started my descent a little bit earlier there, and then I catch the profile. Talk about profile, here it comes. So, retard P descent. P-des. Don't tell the Russians. P-des. Alright, I haven't said that. Now let's see if YouTube's gonna demonetize that one. Wouldn't be surprised. Alright, no, just joking. Alright, so level off exactly at Sugal. Just tell me though, for the A300, is that the correct level off arrow? Because that looks like a climb arrow, not like a descent arrow. I mean, I haven't flown an actual A300, so I'm not sure if Airbus just used the same symbols at all times, or if that is actually a bug. But tell you what, I'm just gonna take a quick screenshot over here, and I'm gonna put that one into their Discord to see if that might be a bug indeed or not. Alright, so 19 minutes in the air, and we've been busy all flight long. And that's probably not gonna get any better. After Sugo, we'll have to start radar vectoring ourselves. But, you know, that's gonna be easy going. Heading 090 onto the downwind. And then from the downwind, we'll take whatever base turn we can get without running into anybody else. So, there was something in the changelog that profile mode should no longer disengage when you go to heading. Let's try. Okay, heading select. And that's looking good indeed. Stays in profile. Nav. Okay, 15,000, seatbelts coming on. Now, I'm not actually sure if it should stay in profile. At least when I take the analogy to the modern Airbuses, they surely go out of the managed descent mode and into vertical speed when you go from nav to heading mode, but that is what it used to do previously, and they, well, fixed that. So I do suppose that they probably at first took the modern Airbus logic there, and then somebody who knew the actual airplane probably told them like, nah guys, that's what the newer Airbuses do, but not the A300. I wouldn't be surprised if it went somehow down that road, because it's flight simulation after all, and in flight simulation these things do definitely tend to happen. Okay, so Seagull, maximum speed 250. Let's see how the airplane's gonna be able to make that, because I absolutely don't see that happening right now. It can just barely make the Seagull restriction by keeping the current rate of descent. I mean, we have 2,000 to go. We are doing a little bit more than 3 times ground speeds on the vertical speed, so we're going to be level in about 4 miles prior Seagull, and then it still needs to lose, well, 50 knots planned, realistically a little bit more than that, so let's see how VNAV is going to handle that. That is going to be interesting to see for sure. Look at that, now it's reaching the deceleration segment with 6 miles to run. Okay, that, I gotta take back what I just said. That looks believable. If we end up a tiny bit above the target speed, then that's obviously due to me flying 20 knots faster than planned in the descent. But let's see. So we gotta be Seagull at 100 and 250 knots. If it makes like 270 knots on level 100, then that is okay, because I flew faster than the VNAV profile's been calculated for, but let's just wait and see. Two miles to run, 300 feet to lose. That might just about work out. Okay, let's do heading 090. Heading. So, how close to Seagull are we? Yep, it works. That VNAV was pretty good. It managed the deceleration precisely. Awesome. Right, let's update the path direct to Alpha Mike 260. I don't actually plan to fly there, but I do plan to roughly go into that direction, so in order to get updated vertical... Oh, look at that, it's accelerating again. No, my friend, we don't do that. Please go back towards 250. That is looking much better. That is looking much, much better. Amsterdam traffic, postman 1443 heavy, level 100 over at Seagull, turning on to a right and downwind ILS 27. Probably nobody answering, because there is nobody around. Okay, 5 degrees to the right. And let's start our descent, flight level 70. Retard speed alt, flight level 70 blue. And passing 100. Okay, lights on, LS on, constraints on, GPS primary high accuracy is checked, and the mode selector is off. Okay, so we just gotta wait for the altimeters, and then we can do the approach checklist. It's interesting. With the transition altitude being as low as it is in the Netherlands, 3,000 feet, so transition level with our QNH today, what is it, 1018 again? Yeah, 1018. So the transition level is going to be 40. So that means we'll have to set the altimeters rather late, and that in turn means that we'll be reading the approach checklist rather late. vertical speed. So our airport is 20 miles ahead. Can't see anything though, unfortunately. Well, except for some really nice texturing on the glass shield over here. We really got to give iniBuilds that. I mean, look at the details you've got in the material over here. Look at the details down where the windscreen actually meets the nose cone of the airplane. And look at that little bit of filler material that you've got there. And that looks pretty nice. They did an awesome job with this airplane. Only the attachment of the wiper there, that does look a little bit strange. I mean, is that attached to the actual nose at all? Or is our wiper just gonna fly away in a few moments? Well, no, it's not gonna fly away, because after all this is not a 737 MAX, so things aren't just going to fly away from our airplane as easily. All-star. I still find it a little bit confusing here that the range of the display is different from, different from pretty much all other aircraft. I just looked at Amsterdam, saw it over here, and I was like, yeah, that's gonna be 15 miles out, let's start our descent. And now I'm like, oh, wait a minute, that was 20 miles, so now we're flying level again. Let's do another 5 degrees to the right there, in order not to get too far off the airfield. Maybe just make it 10 degrees to the right, 105. Okay, so that's got to be Amsterdam just down there, and probably the city coming up somewhere immediately below us in a few moments. Yep, what did I say? Is that Amsterdam City already? Looks a little bit too small, if I'm honest. Well, the harbor over here surely does not look small though. Low-lying clouds as forecast, but they should be above the circling minima. And if not, we can always continue for the ILS 27 and just have a little bit longer taxi in then. Either is going to work, but let's see what it's going to look like when we actually get there. Okay, descent 3000, QNH 1018. Set QNH. QNH 1018 checked, passing 7000 now. Checked. Approach checklist. Signs. On, briefing, confirmed, EHAM status. Checked. Altimeters, QNH 1018, minimums 900 set, ignition off, landing elevation 0, approach checklist complete. So temperature currently plus 12, we'll keep an eye on that before we're getting into the clouds though, just in case we're flying through an inversion or something. Also when we start reducing our speed, that's also going to reduce our TAT. I do believe we should be good just going in here now and then flying over at Titvo to establish on the ILS. Start reducing our speed a little bit, 220 or so. That should be good. It's a bit of a pity that we only got a 12-mile TCAS over here, because that means that we couldn't really see if anybody was coming in over here until it is pretty much almost too late to actually avoid him, other than turning to the left again. But well, we'll have to see. 9 miles out. Should be good to go. Sure enough, I can't see anybody visually, but that doesn't have to mean a lot. Okay, temperature 14 as we're about to enter the clouds, that is okay. Okay then, right turn, heading 180.
Skip all traffic, I'll take it 71 at San Delta 36.
Skip all traffic, Postman 1443 Heavy, right base, runway 27, 10 miles. Okay, the glide slope's coming in, superb. What's the wind doing? Blowing at 49 knots. I'm gonna keep the 220 knots then, because it will be easy to slow down when we approach the final anyway. Okay, descending 2000. Right, heading 240, cleared ILS. Block blue. Passing the glide slope now, block star. That should be a wonderful CDA. Runway heading 266. Okay, going slightly through the localizer shouldn't be much of a problem. Skip all traffic, Postman 1443 Heavy, 10 miles final, ILS 27. Alright, I'll maintain the speed until we're down in 2000, and once we're down in 2000 I'm going to start reducing the speed in order to catch the glide slope. The reason behind doing that is mostly because I want to get, first of all, out of these 40 knots headwind over here. You can see already that even though we're 10 miles in, just doing 190 knots ground speed, so our ground speed is actually perfect for the approach. Okay, so that's 15. You can just pre-select something lower then, 170 or so. Glide slope blue, Cat 3 dual. Okay, let's make that 180. We're going to start configuring the airplane as soon as we catch the glide slope. So we're level for less than 2.5 miles. That means we have flown a perfect CDA. Just need a little bit of engine thrust right now. Would have been nicer if we would have been able to keep the engines in idle at all times, but hey. Okay, flaps 15.
Skip all traffic, I'll pack it at 71, taxi to the Sierra 7, holding point runway 24.
So, approach speed is going to be 136 in the end then. Okay. Gear down, flaps 20. Okay, 136. Flaps 40. Alright, landing checklist. Landing gear down, auto brake, low, any skid checked, slats flaps, 30-40, spoilers, armed, landing checklist complete. Skip all traffic, Postman 1443, 4 miles final, ILS 27, and we'll do a visual swing over runway 24. Could the alpaca advise when you approach the holding point, please?
Holding it until you land, I'll pack it at 71.
Roger, if you're ready now, you're welcome to go.
Yeah, just got to run a couple of checks so you can go.
Roger. Okay, autopilot off. We'll keep the auto thrust. Minimum, continue. Okay, flight path vector on. Actually, can we just get rid of those autopilot modes? That's better. Nope, doesn't look like it in the A300. Okay, so be it. Okay then, flying into the puppy for runway 24. There we go, 3 reds.
Skip off traffic Alpaca 71, lining up and waiting runway 24.
Please hold position. Postman 1443 is on a 1 mile final, runway 24. Okay, on the puppy now. Let's see if the guy really holds or if he's just lining up now.
Apologies, you've been a bit garbled and I've been hearing 27.
Yeah, we've been on the ILS 27, visual swing 24.
Okay, okay.
But we're on a 1 mile final now. Should see us coming any moment. The big yellow thing on your left.
Yep, holding.
Alrighty. So, visual maneuvering has been completed by 300. That means we're all legal to continue. Okay, 3 wides is checked.
Alpaca 71, now lining up runway 24. One video.
Interesting, those engines just ran up for no reason, but so be it. Okay, manual brakes. 70 knots. Why is there no taxi line here? Maybe we can vacate to the left over here. Even though it's probably a little bit early. That's not. We gotta go to the left here. Okay, that's fine. Why is my number 2 engine spooling up now? Okay, there is definitely something still wrong with the engines. Postman 1443 heavy, runway vacated. Thank you for waiting.
All good. Alpaca 71 rolling 24, departure distance.
Okay, so the Alpaca is going, and we are down. Well, it's the interesting behavior of the engines there. I do believe that's what's caused the bounce as well. But yeah, so be it. Okay. After landing checklist. Slat flaps. A retracting. Transponder set. Weather radar. I keep forgetting that we actually have one in the flight simulator. Well, as much as you can call it a radar. Spoilers disarmed. APU started. After landing checklist complete. Okay, so next gate to the right. I do believe over there is some gate markings. Yeah, that looks like it. Sierra 3079. Okay, let's try parking without GSX. I just somehow feel like it.
Skip off traffic Alpaca 71, passing 3004 flight level. Clear of all runways and departing to the south.
Alright, parking brake set, then let's just leave the frequency here. So, the APU is available. Trotting down. Not that the seatbelt sign would really matter in here, but... I left the APU bleed off because we're gonna switch the APU off anyway the moment we get ground power. Okay, parking checklist. APU bleed off, engines off, differential pressure 0, signs off, fuel pumps off, window and probe heat off, parking brake shocks, brakes set, parking checklist complete. Alright, let's go ahead and grab ourselves some ground equipment here. And GSX, you can go for the deboarding, please. Or rather for the unloading, they should call it on a freighter correctly. Okay, chocks in place, GPU in place. And we can absolutely turn the beacon off as well. Interesting. I didn't see that during the checklist. I should have. Okay, note to myself, even though you're just sitting in the simulator here, read the checklist as carefully as you do in the real world. Alright, cool. So, then, we made it. 38 minutes flight time, timer is reset. Let's go ahead and open that door. They're still connecting the loader down there, but we'd rather do this earlier than later. Is that the full open position? Yeah, should be. No risk of anything colliding. But just to be entirely sure, 145, open. Let's see, did the thing open any further? Yes, it did. Okay. Cool. So that stuff is done then. Let's just make sure that we actually let the ground staff in. Okay. Door open. Interesting. Is it? I swear it was closed. Anyway, now it's open. Okay, doesn't matter. Here we are. So, welcome to Amsterdam, everyone. I do hope you enjoyed this little trip with our A300. Let's just see how I parked. Yeah, it could be improved a little, but we made it exactly onto the line. Okay, so I do hope you enjoyed this trip with the A300. So a few issues still left, especially my engine issues are. But apart from that, there is also some progress visible in terms of the much improved LNAV behavior. I do hope that they're going to continue this trend, that we will continue seeing some updates. And in the meantime, I would like to say thank you very much to you, and thank you very much to Luke for being online as a London center over here. Now, thank you very much, everyone. I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, do let me know in the comments below, and be sure to leave a like in YouTube as well, as it does really help out the channel. I do hope that you all enjoyed this one, and if you're up for more, don't forget to subscribe. And if you really love what I'm doing, I would appreciate a small donation through the Buy Me Coffee link in the video description below. Thank you very much for watching, and see you all again on the next one.